Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here to share my testimony journey. My name is Tiffany Archibald. I'm a kidney transplant recipient, and my journey started over 20 years ago. As an active athlete with a healthy lifestyle all my life, I never could imagine the health challenges that I would experience and where I am today. After 3 kidney transplants and several failed biopsies, I'm speaking now to shed light on the invaluable role that non-invasive molecular diagnostic testing plays for post-transplant surveillance and the overall health of transplant patients. I believe that the access to this testing is a large part of the reason why I'm here today. Strong, healthy, and able to share my story. So I played collegiate basketball, and I also played a little bit overseas. While undergoing a low-risk procedure on my toe, I was having a corn removed. My post-surgical labs showed that I was in kidney failure and that I only had 26% functioning. My only option was a transplant. That's where my journey began in 2005. My mother was able to be my kidney donor. I was able to give a second chance at life. And that was the time that I was first exposed to the reality of a biopsy. Biopsies are not just routine medical procedures. They're also very traumatic for the patient, and they are very risky. After 8.5 years with my first transplant, I required another one in 2013. My husband was the donor at the time, and that process actually moved very quickly. I was fortunate enough at that point that I did not have to undergo dialysis while waiting for a kidney. My life transplant patient changed forever, and then I had another traumatic biopsy. I learned that there would be a better way moving forward to monitor my kidney for rejection. Going into that biopsy, I'm going to be honest, I was incredibly scared and traumatized after my first difficult experience. I learned that unfortunately the biopsy did not successfully connect any pieces of the kidney, only the medulla, despite invasively prodding and moving through the kidneys during the procedure. Admittedly, I was frustrated, scared, confused. I do get emotional talking about it because I never could have imagined an option like that would be failed. So I was given the opportunity to start the cell-free DNA test by AlloSure after that unsuccessful biopsy. You know, it amazed me that at a simple blood draw, like a routine labs I was already doing anyway, that this could monitor my kidney health successfully and potentially detect signs of rejection earlier. I was fortunate that if I needed to, I had the resources and support necessary to inpatient medical care for surveillance and biopsies. Not everyone has the luxury though, and the convenience of a blood test at home is a game changer for so many patients and giving them their best chance at preserving their transplant function and the ability to live a healthy life. Fast forward, just 5 months ago, I received my 3rd kidney transplant. This was my first time on dialysis, among other health challenges that caused me to be hospitalized. Now that I'm on the other side of that transplant, I continue to be grateful for the access to the non-invasive testing that monitors my transplant. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to have restrictions on access to AlloSure tests, not knowing if I'm being tested frequently enough or would I have to shoulder the burden of the cost of that test. I am here sharing my story because I don't think it can be stated enough just how much uncertainty transplants patients have to endure. As you've now heard from me, it's oftentimes not just 1 transplant, 2 transplant, and now 3. Even 4 if we are lucky enough to receive the precious gift of donation. The advent of non-invasive testing is called a game changer. And as I see it, it was one of the most important ways that some of the uncertainty of the post-transplant journey can be alleviated for patients. It is essential for doctors and patients to be able to work collaboratively to set a care path that provides patients with access to personalized, non-invasive testing that works for them. Any restrictions on access to these tests can only hinder much needed innovation in this space, and they have the potential to put our transplant patients at risk for rejection. The stakes are just too high for that risk. Thank you for considering my comments today.